I recently had a client share a story with me, and I just knew that I had to talk about it. Obviously, like I got their permission because what happened to them happens to so many of us. Someone thought that they could play the push and pull game, but there happened to be a twist in the story. And this person, the narcissist, expected my client to chase and beg them, as they all do, right? Instead, my client flipped the script, and I really wanted to share this insight with you, my friend. If you've ever had someone just pull away and expect you to chase them, you're going to want to hear this story. Hello, my friends, and welcome back. I hope that you're all doing really well. So I have permission from my client to share this experience, this story with you. And I really wanted to share it with you because I think that this happens to so many of us. And I wanted to share this so that you can see that they basically do the same thing over and over again. But this is about you taking control, right? This is you taking your power back. So, my friends, let's get into the video. So, my client, let's call her Sarah. Okay, she came to me very frustrated. She'd been seeing this guy, aka the narcissist, for a couple of months. No, it was a few months. Everything started off amazing. There were the constant messaging, the lots of attention, going out on dates, late night conversations, future plans. It was all very real. But then the shift came. And as we know, those messages slowed down. The energy changed, and suddenly they were too busy. Canceling plans last minute, like so rude, so rude. And they basically weren't answering back as much. They were dry answers. There weren't any kind of plans being made going forward. So what happens, like with all of us, Sarah's anxiety crept in. But here's the thing. She hadn't done anything wrong. It wasn't about her. This was about control. When she came to me, she was ready to break that cycle. And I'm so glad that she. So Sarah had been there quite a lot in past relationships, kind of overgiving, over explaining, trying to fix. But this time we made a plan. And we thought that if we make this plan, we're going to break this cycle. Instead of reacting emotionally or chasing, she matched their energy. She pulled back. Because that's the thing, my friends. If you match someone's energy and you do what they are doing, I guarantee you they're not going to like it, especially if it is a narcissist. Because remember, this is someone that thrives on attention, thrives on your emotional validation. So when that suddenly stops, they're the ones that are going to notice it. It affects them more than it affects you, believe it or not. So if this person, so the narcissist would take hours to respond or get back to her. So you know what? She wasn't in a rush to answer back either. She would take hours or a little bit longer to answer back to this person. At first, crickets, silence, and then the test started. 2 days later, she gets a text, a random text, may I say, saying, "Hey," then a vague, "How are you?" or "Hope you are okay." And then Sarah didn't answer. And then a few moments later, they answered with, "Did I do something wrong?" Oh, they were feeling it now. Oh, yes, my friends. They were feeling the silence, the crickets now. They weren't used to Sarah holding her ground. They weren't used to Sarah putting her boundaries up. They thought, because remember, they form opinions of you right at the beginning. So they knew that Sarah, my client, was compassionate, was kind, empathetic individual. And they knew that they could play this game on Sarah. They expected her to chase, to seek approval. But instead, she gave them a dose of their own medicine to sit in their own uncomfortableness. Now, look, one thing I do want to make clear, we're not playing tit for tat. We're not playing games. But at the end of the day, what is the alternative? If you do not mirror their behavior back to them, the narcissist is going to carry on playing this game in this loop, and they are going to make you feel less than. They're going to make you feel like you are on the hook. And that's what I didn't want for my client. I really wanted her to step back into her own power and look at this, for what it really was. If someone is doing this right at the beginning and they're not showing up for you, they're not giving you literally 50%. That's all we need. We don't even need 100%. 50% is 50-50, right? And they can't do that. And they start playing games right at the beginning. What is the point of this then? What is this point of this interaction? They're expecting you to chase. Like, why? Why can't you just be normal? Why can't you just be an individual that just communicates, right? But you see, what happens is when you give that person a dose of their own medicine, they don't like it because it causes uncomfortableness. They have to sit in their own discomfort. And a narcissist is not going to do that. And then first came the guilt tripping. He basically messaged her saying, I feel like you just don't care anymore. Then the little attempts to kind of, like put in the little jealousy bit there, like mentioning how busy they were and how weird things were, basically to get you, meaning my client Sarah, to start thinking about it. Now, if you're not aware of this, can you see how this is all a manipulation tactic? They're blaming you for them not being able to communicate. Here's the real test. What happened is that the narcissist then sent a really, really long message. You know those kind of essay texts that they send? They sent a really long message basically saying how he felt that things were getting cold and distant and that he wasn't happy about it and that he didn't want it. Trying to evoke some sort of emotional reaction from my client Sarah, because what he wanted to do was to make sure that she was still interested in him. But Sarah saw right through the manipulation tactic, and she did answer that text, and she basically said that she doesn't want to play games, like she's too tired to be playing games. What she does want to do is move on with her life. And I feel like that was the best way forward, because what is the point? Seriously, like, this person, everything was going great right at the beginning. And then just because they got comfortable, they then start to pull back and then don't answer text, being strange, waiting and waiting for their reply. I mean, what is the point? What you have to realize is people like that do actually know what they're doing. It's not that they're too busy. It's a matter of priorities at the end of the day. So this person wasn't too busy. It was just about priorities and knowing that they could keep her there whenever they wanted attention and validation from Sarah. But here's the thing about people who play this push and pull game. They expect you to break first. They have this expectation that you're going to run to them. You're going to do what they want you to do. And it basically gives them the upper hand. So they're in control of this whole scenario, of this whole situation. It's not fair, because what it does to you, okay, is it makes you feel anxious. It makes you feel that you're not good enough. So you're always trying to fix things because you're feeling the distance, you're feeling the coldness. But you see, what this person is doing is flipping the script and basically saying that it's you that is the issue, not them. They never take on the blame. There's no accountability. Sarah told me later that she felt that there was this shift in her. For the first time in her life, she wasn't reacting from fear or insecurity, that she felt stronger and she felt like she had more power and more control in this situation. She was standing in her own worth. She wasn't afraid of saying and expressing how she had felt. She didn't just win the game, she left the game entirely. Because real relationships, like I said before, they're not about power struggles. They're not about control. It's not about who does this first or tit for tat. It's just normal communication. But when we have been in these dynamics for a really long time, or when we have been used to having this experience in relationships all the time, we kind of get used to it and we kind of think that this is normal, but it really, really isn't. Now, my friends, I want to hear from you. Have you ever had anyone that has expected you to chase them, whether they're a narcissist or not? Because yes, people can be full-blown narcissists, but also people can have narcissistic tendencies, and narcissists love to play this push and pull game, or toxic individuals. What did you do in this scenario? Drop a comment in the comments section below, because I'd love to hear from you. You know I read them. Guys, you know I read the comments. So please do put your experiences and what you have found to be really helpful, because you never know who you're going to be helping in this community. And if you're on this journey of self-worth, why don't you consider checking out my mentorship program? Details are in the description box below. I also offer one-to-one consultations if you would like to discuss this further and found yourself in Sarah's situation. Again, all the details are in the description box below. Guys, please do press the like button if you have enjoyed this video. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel. Remember that the strongest move that you can make is walking away from this. It's not about playing the game and about being the one that has won. It's not about power struggle. It's about walking away, saying, I don't want to have none. Stay empowered, stay strong, my friends, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.